Sunday, November 7th, Kings Mountain National Park, Battlefield Trail.
You guys go stand by the side.
Okay, yeah, Mike. Mike.
So one of the cool things is you can actually dial those phone numbers and press 1 and it tells you about the area that you're in and what happened during the Revolutionary War. The walkway is rubberized. It's the recycled rubber walkway, so it's very easy to walk. And of course, no messing with the wildlife while you're here. And there's some depictions of soldiers as they would have been in the forest.
Two.
Well, let's see what it says. Hey, let's try it.
Okay.
864-285-3900.
Powered by OnCell. Hello and welcome to our OnCell tour. This service is one tool you enter your stop number now or press *0 to leave us your feedback.
Major Joseph Winston's troop from Surrey County, North Carolina, was detached from the main army on a detour in order to gain Ferguson's right flank. After riding about 1 mile, they came to a steep hill, dismounted, and marched up the hill expecting to meet the enemy at the top. Finding no enemy troops there, they rode on at a breakneck pace, luckily taking up their positions as planned. This troop, along with Chronicles and McDowell's, held critical points in the line because they blocked Ferguson's route to Lower Cornwallis in Charlottetown, North Carolina. If Ferguson tried to escape, it would be through this area. These men had to hold their ground at all costs. Major Winston led about 60 men in the Battle of Kings Mountain. His losses are unknown. Winston remained with the army until what was left of the prisoners was finally turned over and the troops dispersed. Major Winston later joined General Greene in North Carolina and led 100 riflemen against Cornwallis at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse. The North Carolina legislature awarded Winston a fine sword for his actions at the Battle of Kings Mountain. He received the sword in 1812 while serving in the state senate. When he was presented with the sword, he acknowledged it by saying, "Mr. Speaker, I am at a loss for words to express my sense of honor which the General Assembly has conferred upon me by this grateful present. I trust."
Can you imagine having to fight up that hill?
Yeah.
You look up there at the hill, you can see. Yeah. Hold still, bastard.
The rock.
So that's what a colonial road would have looked like. That's what they call a road back in the day. There's a grave marker up there. Here fell Major William Chronicle, October 7th, 1780. So that sign was placed in 1930. So there's another historical marker. Looks like the one on the left was one of an original hand carving. You can barely make out anything on it, but this is Major William Chronicle and Captain John Maddox. William Rabb and John Boyd were killed on the 7th of October 1780 right here. That might be the original stone Because you can see some markings on it. So the old monument, which is that, was erected in 1815.
That was put there in 1815.
And this was put here in 1914.
So we should be working. I go over every night and dogs out through those layers. So we work back and forth that way.
Very historic spot. It's a little creek here.
Pretty low, ain't it?
Yeah, there's not a lot of water in it.
See how they were coming at each other? Fire as quick as you can and stand your ground as long as you can.
A little park bench over here. In case you want to stop and have a snack. It's one of those audio tour signs.
Let's see, here's coming in and Lilius. We're in between.
Pretty rough country to have a battle.
Paper the Whigs wore on their hats.
Not the roughest,
And the pine twigs the Tories wore
But-
on theirs. So that's how you...
still pretty rough.
Yep.
You know, for us when we turned 16, we was like growing up and starting to drive, and we were, there's a vending machine.
That's not a vending
What are you
machine.
expecting for 16 years old? Here's the 60 years old and here's the...
That's going on YouTube.
Or you get a mocha.
My friend.
Checking the elevation. We're at, no, it's not very high. It's 610 feet. It's about double what, it's about double where we live. So, not bad.
The one group had a piece of paper in their hats and the other group had a twig. And that's how they could tell each other apart.
I think they used to tie ribbons,
Yeah.
certain colored ribbons on themselves too, if I recall correctly. Look at that. It's like to be fighting through these woods with a musket and buckled leather, hand-sewn leather, buckle-top shoes. I can't imagine those things were very comfortable. I mean, not like these Keen hiking shoes that I have on now. The Hoover Monument. He's the guy that invented vacuums, right?
Hoover, I have Hoover.
Hoover?
And I'm reading book author of Hoover.
See, not the, he's the guy that invented vacuums. They built a monument for him.
Was president. President Hoover.
Oh, so he was here at the sesquicentennial.
75,000 people?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, somebody smashed his face, you see?
Look at all those people.
Yeah, people are so bad.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm off-roading. Hickory nuts. Yeah. It's a hickory nut tree. And hickory nuts all over the place. Rotten. They're all rotten. in honor of the 3 known African American patriots and others who participated in the Battle of Kings Mountain. Esaias Bowman, John Brody, Andrew Ferguson. And that's pretty cool.
Look at this.
Oh, the tree is growing up out of the rock. Or the rock is...
cool?
The tree grew around the rock.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. Now we are at the top. Now we came from way down there. It's quite a ways down. It doesn't seem like much until you walk it or think about fighting up it to win this pinnacle. You know, being a veteran myself, I think about what it would have been like had I been born a century or two earlier and fought in this war. How hard it would have been.
Can you read it?
Yeah, it says, in memory of the patriotic Americans who participated in the Battle of Kings Mountain, this monument is erected by their grateful descendants. This side, here on the 8th day of October, AD 1780, the British forces commanded by Patrick Ferguson were met and totally defeated by Campbell, Shelby, William Cleveland, Sevier, and their heroic followers from Virginia, the Carolinas, and Tennessee. So this is where the tide of the Revolutionary War turned. Well, here in South Carolina anyway. Look at that old cedar.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at how, oh, that's on the fire.
This old cedar tree. Asbury Coward.
Soldier, patriot, educator.
Huh.
Defensive ring facing outward along the quarter-mile-long ridge. 90% of the Tories who fought here did not wear the King's red coat. Some men did disguise even into the battle.
I mean, we have so much, and now he's just like, oh, you have to go to Fatima.
Well, let's see what number 8 says. We haven't done all of them, but we'll just do number 8 and see what it says.
Powered by OnCell. Welcome back to the tour. Enter your stop number now. Stop 8, Ferguson's Camp. Ferguson's main camp was in the area where the United States Monument now stands. White canvas tents and camp equipment would have covered this area. Loyalists from neighboring counties and provincial troops from the north made up the Major's army. Ferguson had placed his royal provincials and loyalist troops along this crest from one end to the other. These Tories had no thought of retreating from the men that pursued them. In fact, the Major boasted that he was on King's Mountain and was king of that mountain, and that God Almighty and all the rebels in hell could not drive him from it. Ferguson was so confident in his position on the mountain that he did not bother building any form of defenses. He only placed his baggage wagons near his headquarters to form some appearance of protection, and so he sat here, inactive, waiting for the return of his furloughed men and hopeful reinforcements. These men, like their patriot counterparts, believed they were doing the right thing. A number of these men, like some patriots at the bottom of the hill, had their homes plundered and family members killed. being forced to retreat down this slope, the Loyalists found themselves pressed on all sides. The North Carolina Loyalist militia, being out of ammunition, gave way and threw the rest of the troops into confusion. Men started raising surrender flags, but Ferguson would not surrender and cut the white flags down.
This is quite a monument. It's up pretty high.
October 7th, 1780, 240 years ago.
Oh, look at those carvings.
Yeah.
Granite.
Might be a little critter that goes in there and lives.
They look like Santa.
It says here, Colonel Ferguson fell on October 7th, 1780. So right here along in this area somewhere, huh? Handbright marker. Some sort of a marker down there. We're gonna go see it. The tablet marks the spot where Colonel Frederick Hambright was wounded. He was born in Aberdeenshire, Scotland in 1744. Well, how about that? You erect a monument for your foe. Here we are back at the visitor center. Tour's done.